Hi guys, and welcome to DIY with Nadia. Today we are getting all patriotic with red, white, and blue. I made this 4th of July wreath, everything from the Dollar Tree, including the wreath frame, which is the metal 14-inch one, the sign from the Dollar Tree, ribbon, everything. This wreath took 6 Deco Mesh rolls, and this is what's left over. So next time I'm actually going to do, in this wreath you'll see that I'll be making 6 loops, but next time I think I'm going to do 7, and it will be enough because this is a lot of leftover Deco Mesh. With that being said, let's get into this video. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my wall hanging from the Dollar Tree, and since I didn't know which wording I was going to go with, I took my Mod Podge and just Mod Podged all 3 of them. The reason I do this is that Dollar Tree sparkle gets on everything, gets on your hands, whatever you're working with. So I always like to tame it down and just put Mod Podge over it, let it dry. Not much, just a little bit, just enough for it to stay in place. These little square signs are not that big, and I also wanted something. I wanted a nice solid color around my little 4th of July sign so that it stands out against the Deco Mesh in the back. Next, I grabbed my white grosgrain ribbon that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm cutting it into 3-inch strips. Now I'm just singeing all the ribbon edges to make sure there's no fraying when my wreath is going to be hanging, especially that this wreath is going to be outside. The way I singe my edges is I like to use a little tea light. I just run my ribbon next to the flame really quickly back and forth, and I feel like I have more control than using a lighter, but there's nothing wrong if you are used to using a lighter and are very good at it. So, you know, there's many ways to do the same thing. Now I'm just grabbing my little 3-inch ribbons and I'm going to be folding them in a V and just putting a little dot of glue at the bottom. And as you can see, both of my fingers on the hand that I'm holding the little V together do have the rubber protectants on them, and I do get those at the Dollar Tree. They come 3 in a pack. Now it's time to attach my little ribbon V's to the back of my 4th of July sign. I hot glued the little V's about 1/2 inch from the edge of the sign, and I used 5 of the little V's on each side, so basically I made 20 of the little V's. In order to attach my sign to the wreath, I just grabbed 2 chenille wires and hot glued them to the back of my little sign. To make the wreath itself, I will be using 6 rolls of Deco Mesh from the Dollar Tree, a 14-inch metal frame, and also zip ties. I will be using these little zip ties for this project, but you can also get zip ties on Amazon or at the Dollar Tree. It really doesn't matter, but I would say a minimum of a 4-inch zip tie is needed to do this. For this wreath, we're going to start by layering the mesh. I'm going to put the red on top of it. I'm going to layer the white and then the blue. And with the deco mesh right on top of each other, I'm bringing it together at the end, and I'm going to zip tie it to the second and third ring together, nice and tight. And the way I like to do it is I like to kind of put it on the intersection so that it holds in place really, really nice, meaning from one side of that divider to the other side. To do my loops, I love using this board from the Dollar Tree. And so what I do is I measure about 8 inches right there. And then I just bring it together and I make a little loop. When I bring it together, I take my little zip tie and then I just tie it together. In this wreath, I did 6 of these loops per each section of my wreath. And I still had a lot of ribbon left over where I could have done 7. My wreath did turn out nice and full, but I'm just saying that if you guys want to, you could definitely do 7 loops if you keep them at about 8 inches. Now I'm just taking the leftover tail and making sure it's nice and secure and nothing sticking out or poking out. I actually gave a few zip ties in that area, and whoop, there's my helper. Here I'm just going around the wreath and really making sure that all my zip ties are nice and tight. And then afterwards, I'm just grabbing my wire cutters and going all around and just cutting off all the tails from the zip ties. Here's my favorite part. That's where we get to take the deco mesh and open it up. So what I did is I would just take the blue one, put it on the left, and then in the next loop I'll put the blue one on the right. And I just kind of mixed them up. Red would go to the left, the red would go to the right, the white would be somewhere here and there. And you just do this throughout the whole wreath. This is so much fun. It is so satisfactory. I don't know why. I absolutely love this part of making this wreath. Now we're ready to grab the sign and attach it to the wreath. I'm just going to place it how I want it on the wreath, flip the wreath over, and then attach it to the second or the first ring of the wreath. Mine attached to the second one, so I was kind of happy. I knew it was nice and secured, and I absolutely love how this wreath turned out. I just adjusted the sign in the front a little bit. And bam, you guys, it's all done. How easy and beautiful is this wreath?